it opened a lot of eyes to a lot of stuff. But again, we're not organized in that manner to where we're all in unison. We have, and very few people are respected enough by many to be considered a leader.
Wow.
You know, there's so many people that want to be leaders that people don't respect, and so many people that are doing it for the wrong reasons.
For the clout.
So it's hard to navigate in that space of a coalition.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's too many people that want to be the leaders, and like I said, a lot of times I don't give a damn.
You just in the cut.
All right, y'all. I know what I can do. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have to go to, like, if it's a thing about unisons and impact, I can bring my own table to your table. Like, I'm not really. So it's like, we have to be able to really work together though, to find those individuals who really care.
Good people, what's up? What's good? I know you guys are probably enjoying the show, but before we get started, let me tell you guys about Kush Inn Heights. It is a dope clothing brand that merges Black history with clothing. They are amazing, good people. Check them out and follow them at Kush_INN_Heights. Like Heights, you already know how to spell that. Hopefully, Kush Inn Heights will have that spelled for you right here at the bottom. Check them out, follow them on social media, get you some dope merch, rock it. And what they especially talk about, which is really, really cool, is that the meaning of Kush. Kush was a dope civilization. Way before we started talking about cannabis and weed, Kush was an actual place before Egypt as well. So again, man, they talk about history. They merged that Black culture with dope merchandise, high quality. Follow the good people at Kush Inn Heights. Show them love and support on social media. Purchase, shop with them, and you will not be disappointed. Again, at Kush_Inn_Heights. Show them some love. Peace. Let's get back to the show. Good people, what's up? What's good, man? We are back for another edition of the 3 Milli Podcast. Blessed be your host, Caleb Smith. Shout out to Kush Inn Heights, Black-owned brand, supporting the show, always showing love, our great sponsor. So make sure to follow them at Kush_NINN_Heights. Check them out, man, on Instagram. Black-owned brand, super, super dope. Show them some love ASAP, and we'll have the link in the description below. Check them out. But today we have a very, very special guest, man. This guy, he's a dope activist. Man, it's amazing seeing somebody who's young, looks just like us, who's just killing the game, doing his thing. Also, he has a great series, Black Friday, that he's been doing as well, just like stimulating the whole Black economy, his clothing line, his brand, everything that he's doing. Scotty Smart, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, man.
Hey, it's a blessing to see you too, bro.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
I really
sir.
appreciate that.
Yes, sir, man. Starting out, bro, just seeing, everything that you've been doing, especially here, like in Atlanta, me being from the area, seeing everything, just, man, seeing somebody who is passionate about what you do, always showing love, giving back to the community when you don't have to, man. So how did this whole passion start of just being active in the community, protesting, 2020, seeing you? I'm like, yo, this guy's killing it.
It's been a journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think to say it started from always thinking like someone should be doing it. Like, where's the so-and-so? You know what I'm saying? I think everybody's always looking for that person. And then it got to the point where it was just like, become that. You know what I mean? And it was a series of events that happened around like 2013, 2014 that really kick-started. I mean, everyone started paying attention around the Trayvon Martin situation. So that was like an eye-opening situation. And then that happened in the trial and all that, and I was always a little bit into criminal justice, like kind of like just paying attention to it, like understanding it a little bit. And then 2014, I had a situation happen with some police officers. It didn't go left, fortunately, but it was eye-opening. Like, I was surrounded by like 4 or 5 police officers in the middle of the night by myself. Wow. And it was just like, it was one of those moments. And right after that was like in May of 2014. And then in August, was when Mike Brown had situation happen, and that was the first time I really like went somewhere. I was like, okay, let me go figure out, like, just seeing stuff on Instagram and just started showing up. And then from there, I just started showing up, to be honest with you, and just started just being there. Just being present is about 90% of the battle. It's just being in the room. You know what I'm saying? To understand what's going on, just showing up to just listen. Yeah. And so I did that for a while, and then I ran into the right people that can guide my anger. You know what I'm saying? And my passion, and like giving me mentorship and giving me direction in what I was trying to do. And so I ran into some great mentors of mine, like Attorney Griggs, Marcus Coleman. Early on, I met them, and like they kind of just funneled where I was trying to go and just put me in certain situations, and it just snowballed from that. And just already, most of it just came from like what I was before then, like just being a popular person. You know what I'm saying? Not like just being around Atlanta, growing up here, and always being in those popular circles and those inner circles of Atlanta. So that made a transition easier because a lot of people already knew me, but it was like now they know you for doing, not just trying to do some cool shit. Yeah. Oh, can I curse?
Okay, you good, bro. hey, we just chopped it up. You good?
All right, but yeah. So it happened easier because of the people I already knew and my relationships with people. But the activism really just started from seeing a void in the space and just wanting to, like, continually say, well, why don't we do this and why don't we do that? You know what I'm saying? You hear that over and over again, and then you like, all right, well, why don't I do that? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you do that? Why don't you become that? And so it kind of snowballed from there, from those series of events, and then I just started showing up, and then it got to a point where I tried to start my own foundation. I really just started as a volunteer. You know what I'm saying? It just was like, I just want to sit in the rooms of what's going on. Yeah. And so for like 2 years, I would just show up to meetings and just see stuff online, not knowing nobody. And then once you start showing up, your face becomes a regular. You know what I'm saying? People get comfortable saying, oh, yeah, I know you're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes comfort. And so, 2014 is where it started. And that's why, and then it's just been nonstop ever since then. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Life is just a roller coaster that we just don't get off of. And as a Black person, you just have these.
It's a snowball effect.
So, that's how I got started.
I love that, man. Shout out to Kim, J Black, Innovative Black Station, man. Seeing your interview last year, it was excellent, man. Hearing about your story, origins, all that. So hearing, man, about your pops as well. Like y'all having a program started, and then he's like, hey, if you want to implement change, you got to do that.
Right. I think we've always had and shout out to my pops. Definitely. We've always had like I'm one of those people. He knows my buttons. I'm one of those people. If you challenge me, I gotta really go do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those. I'm gonna prove you wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna prove you. Like, did you really? You thought I couldn't do that, huh? Yeah. You really? So, so what happened is the story about the how I started the Smart Foundation. So about around his 50th birthday, well, to go back when I was a teenager, he had an all boys summer camp. Called Mdogo Kondo, which stood for Young Warriors in Swahili. So it was all boys. We would do we run a mile, we would work out every morning. We would read for an hour. Wow. We would do math for an hour. We would watch some cultural movies and stuff like that. So he had that going on, and it formed up some bonds with some of my friends that last a whole lifetime, for real. Yeah. And so around that time I was like, yeah, we need that. You know what I'm saying? Just again in that, bro, we need stuff like this. Just saying stuff, you know what I'm saying? And this is around 2016, 2017. And as I'm saying that, and I'm not really comfortable in the activism space just yet at that time. I'm still new. I'm one of those people that sits back and observe. I don't just jump into stuff. I don't just know it. I don't have a know-it-all attitude. I'm really a student. Yeah. And so So yeah, he had that, and I was like, yeah, man, we need to do that. And he was just, man, I'm about to be 50, man. I'm like, I'm kind of old, bro. Like
somebody got to step up.
Why don't you do something? And I was just like, all right, okay, let me. Yeah. And so I started thinking about how I can. So then I birthed the Smart Foundation from that, and just trying to create my own and looking at my life under a microscope and seeing we didn't embrace intelligence enough as a kid. I was really book smart as a kid. I was in the tag programs, I was in the magnet programs. Yeah. But I wanted to be in the streets so much.
You want to be cool.
It fucked up my life for a really long time. You know what I'm saying? It put me in a lot of bad situations, making the wrong decisions. Where if I would have just been embraced my intelligence and how smart I was at that time, instead of not going home and not doing homework, and then getting to 24 and 25 and really seeing damn, I got partners that's doctors and dentists and really, you know what I'm saying, and lawyers, and it's damn, you just not getting your first real job. You know what I'm saying? So you're looking at yourself under a microscope at your own fuck ups and saying, damn, if I would have embraced intelligence, and I understood that's what the culture needed. So that's when I was smart. I want to brand intelligence to the culture. That was the whole thing. I really want to push intelligence and being educated on our culture. And I feel like that's the shift that we need. And if I can do that, it'll last a lifetime. It's not really about me at that point. You know what I mean? It's about the culture. So yeah, Pops is my dog, man, and I'm grateful for him. You know what I mean? To have that relationship. I don't think you ever, even as when you're growing up, you don't understand how important your parents are until you get to an adult. You're like, damn,
you
a lot of people.
Understand.
You start to see like they fucked up because of the way it was raised. You know what I'm saying? Like you start to see especially when you start to get in the mental health space, you can see the whys of why people do what they do and how they act and why they think the way they think. Yeah. It's had something to do with the experiences that they have. And so I'm very grateful to have had a father that was there. You know what I'm saying? And I think he grew up in the era where it was really, really tough love. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I was raised real militant. Like I'm real like punch you in the chest type of father. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even, excuse me.
No, you good. Just,
alarms I had going on.
Hey, he's a busy person.
No, it just says plan. Like I have an alarm that tells me to plan at 1 o'clock.
Hey,
like,
ain't nothing wrong
trying
with
to
that.
map it all out. You know what I'm saying? Add some structure to it. But just having that father figure, man, it really meant. And then to be able to share my father as well. My father's been like a father that's like a community father. Like when we do the mental health link up, everybody calls him Pop. You know what I'm saying? Like when we was in LA, he's always been like the football, the baseball, basketball coach, the teacher. My Pops was a teacher. And so he was always involved with other kids' lives. I got so many god sisters that were just his former students that he took in. And so I really just saw his heart. And I think that's where I get that from. And just understanding the struggle of what we went through to get to where we at. So I can understand the mindset of most people in those same situations. Wow. And so we can, you know what I'm saying, like you said, be at the table. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I can have a voice for, a lot of times people get to those positions, they ain't really us. So I try to represent us pretty well.
Man, I love that. Mental health, you were a big advocate for that, super active. How important is it for young Black men to take care of our minds too?
It's everything.
Yeah.
Everything's mental. Yeah. Like our whole mental makeup is a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Our traumas. Yeah. Being able to identify what we're going through. And the thing about young Black men is that we're told to we're not allowed
Can't show emotion.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
You're not able to embrace that portion of you. So you're so stern, you're so hard, and nothing bothers you. Yeah. You're really that, and like I'm so nonchalant, like to the point where it's like if I don't want to have a conversation with you, I'm not having a conversation.
Hey, I'm that way too. Yeah.
So it's just like, but that's how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to see things, but the mental aspect of it is so important. It's so necessary for us to have, and I think we're the bridge generation. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's weird to be in a space where everything's accepted. Yeah. But it's good that's one of the things that is opening
one
up.
Of the many things. Yeah.
It's glad that that's being a thing that's opening up for the culture and people are accepting. Yeah. And being more aware of, because it's really everything. When I really I can't even understand like the negativity how do we put negativity on stuff like that? But when you think about it, that's what our culture has done for a long time. It's kind of like shun some of the things that we really necessarily need. And so I'm glad that we're past the point where if you hear the word bipolar, you don't think, oh, that motherfucker crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, he just had a manic episode. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, just understanding your own emotions. That's the biggest thing. I think we go through so much and we feel so much that we don't label, that we don't know how to identify with, or don't know how to process it and think it through. Life is happening so rapid. Yeah. It's like, did you really stop and just pause and process the day? Yeah. Like, damn, what? And I really realized that I didn't used to do that. I'm just going. I'm just living. Like, and it was just because we as Black people live in a survival mode most of the time. And so we don't have the time to really sit and just and think it in depth and rational. It's just like we're just reacting. And so the mental health piece is the biggest thing. And so I'm big on the youth development with that, with social emotional learning. Yeah. And I think that's where we change the mindset of the culture is allowing them to express emotions. Because once you express it, then you can control it, and we won't have to be in such a rage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's just a pent up emotion that's just overflowing, and you just a ticking time bomb. Yeah. And so when we don't have the opportunities to express ourselves, when we don't have the opportunities to vent, we're just so bottled up. Yeah. And any moment, it could be not even having to do nothing with you, but you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, and the person's going through a certain emotion that they don't know how to control. That's right. It can be a trigger. Yep. And so I think to even be able to understand that, especially at a younger age, with that social emotional learning piece, we get it. It's really, the studies show it can be a generational change for a mindset. And I think that's what we lack is compassion for one another. Yes, sir. And that's because of our mental makeup, you know, of how hard we feel like we have to be. Yeah. the most fucked up thing about the mentality of black people is that we have to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
We're really taught you
got to be hard. Yeah.
You can't be weak out here.
Yeah.
And see, there's a difference between weak and there's a gray area in there.
Yeah. So like, how do we find that gray area where I'm not soft, but then at the same time, like I'm not too hard?
But that's also being comfortable within yourself,
yeah,
right? And knowing like, okay, if I gotta be that, I'm that, but I don't have to turn that on all the time. You know what I'm saying? Some people walk around just
controlling those emotions, like
they just tough, like don't fuck you looking at. You know what I'm saying? They just hard all day long.
Yeah.
But for what? You know what I'm saying? You're living on edge. You have no peace.
Yeah.
And once you get to a point of living for peace and your mind is relaxed, and it's different.
Yeah.
But I think you see it in age cycles, like from 18 to 25 and 25 to 35. Like those different, your mind shifts so much. And so I think that 25 to 35 age group is the most that has to give back.
Yes, sir.
Because they're the closest to and there's always a gap there.
It's that bridge generation somewhat.
Yeah. And so, and especially in the technology age, I feel like we're really that bridge generation. Yeah. And so we really just have to really just focus in on being intentional about certain things, you know what I mean? Right. Just being intentional. And I think the mental health aspect of it, and it allows us to really dive into, it's really conversation. And you know, I think unfortunately black families were taught to, some things you ain't supposed to say. Yeah. But some things need to be said so you can even get over them. You know what I'm saying? Like just to even have at least a little bit of closure, and maybe not to that I don't know, but some way, somehow you have to be able to release whatever you're going through. You have to have that moment to express yourself, and that's the biggest part about mental health, is letting go of so much pent up hurt and being able to begin to heal. You know, so many of our situations that happen are because people have never healed from previous traumas. And
that's right.
Living in a state of rage.
Wow. State of rage, man. 2020 was a very monumental year.
Life changing.
Like so much change, whether it was with like the whole world structure, with businesses, finances, and especially social justice. And again, bro, seeing somebody in the same age range, I'm 25. So man, seeing you, I'm like, I love it. I love seeing it, man. And honestly, bro, you're like a voice for our entire generation. I know it sounds like it's pressure, but you've been doing one hell of a job, man. But 2020, what do you think we can take from that year? And do you feel like that spirit has somewhat died down, or do you feel like that same momentum is like still there somewhat from 2020?
So I've been doing this long enough to understand viral moments. And so I understand heights, and like 2020 was a deja vu moment for me.
Okay. It
was also a transitional moment. It was when I started to embrace what was going on.
Right.
I've been doing this for a while, but I was like, when people would say like what you just said, I'd be like, man, you tripping. Now I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, all right, I understand. I've embraced it. Yeah. But 2020 was like 2014 when the Mike Brown thing happened.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It was like a height. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a killing. It was
just like bubbling up somewhat.
It was 5,000 people in front of CNN. It was deja vu for me. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, it was the same exact space and moment.
Wow.
From 2014.
Yeah.
And so, I would say that the momentum slows down. It does.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that what happened in 2020 also was what I call a perfect storm. People weren't doing anything.
That's a fact. I didn't think of it that way.
I say that God stopped everything for us to have our moment. And I say that because when you get back to life, how life is now, you don't have time to give a damn about what's going on in other people's lives because you're trying to live your life. But when the pandemic happened,
you at the crib.
Nobody was doing anything.
Yeah.
I never seen so many people outside.
It was packed, bro.
People was calling my phone like they was going to the club back in the day. I was like, hey,
it was an event.
It was with the protest at the day. I was like, damn, like, so I think that you have to understand the moment and understand the scenario that made that moment. Yeah. And then understand the situations that's happening now. You don't have that moment without the pandemic. You have other instances of brutal killings. Yeah. But you don't have everybody that can't do nothing. They just there. We're just home. Yeah. And then this is like they allowed us to really. That was when we first came outside. I don't think people had been outside from March to June. I don't think nobody,
because that was what, June?
That was May 30th, May 29th.
So on the edge of June.
It was so for 3.5 months, people were in the house,
and we were scared.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and it just was the floodgates open.
Yes, sir.
And it so I think it's unfair to judge that without putting it into the context of it.
Right.
To understand where we were and what happened was really like a perfect moment for us to be heard.
Yeah.
And I think that those moments are hard to capture.
Yes, sir.
But it invites new eyes and ears. And so in that moment, I understood my moment, and I understood what I had building up towards. And that was the first time, like, it was some young dudes who I had been around for a couple of years, and they were looking at me like, trying to get me the bull. I'm not the rah-rah guy. You see what I'm saying? I have conversations, but I'm not the cheer you. I'm not the leader of the protest. That's not my role. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be standing beside them, but I'm not I don't even like talking louder than this. I'm not yelling for hours. But in that moment, one of the dudes was like looking at me like,
what you
lead us, big bro. Like, and I was looking like, oh shit, this is real. You know what I'm saying? And it happened, and like that moment is a moment in history. And I think that's what we have to really understand as well, is in the context that we're living in historic times.
Yes, sir.
So these things that are happening will have an impact 10, 15 years from now. And that's I'm a big picture thinker. I'm always 5 years in the, okay, if I do this right now, where could it be?
How's it going to affect this?
If I could really, you know what I'm saying? Now that I'm learning how to plan like that, you know, we thinking ahead. Like Pac say, learn to think ahead and write with your pen. So now we're making strategic moves instead of emotional moves. And that's the thing with coming back to the mental health is like to control the emotion of those moments. That was a very deep, passionate moment. But I'm so numb to stuff at this point that I've experienced so much that I'm kind of like the calm in the storm all the time. Unfortunately, I've dealt with more personal deaths. And now to even piggyback on top of that, what happened in 2020, it kind of brings the whole conversation full circle. So one of the dudes, I went to the Mdogo Kondo camp my dad had, got killed the day after George Floyd.
Wow.
And so everybody was mourning that. I was like in a trance because my friend since 6th grade, DeMarcus,
is way closer to you,
got killed. And I had just talked to him the day before. So,
my goodness. And
how many friends do you really have? You talk from 6th grade till y'all are 33 years old, you know what I'm saying, up until the day that they die, and y'all are in conversation, you know what I mean? So again, I was in a mental health, just in a trance. And then another thing about the pandemic was you couldn't go to funerals and things like that.
True.
So
I forgot about that.
It fucked with me because I didn't really get closure on that situation because everything was virtual. So and in the height of that, what happened was so the George Floyd thing happens, and I give a speech at Centennial, I think that is. And then
Centennial Park.
And so that next night is when T.I. and Killer Mike had
when they came on the news.
The news.
How'd you feel about that too when you saw that?
I understand their roles in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get it. I mean, but at that point in time, I didn't really have any relationships with either of them. Okay. And so from that moment, a conversation was had that we had to sit down that following Monday. So, okay, so this is crazy. So Friday, I give the speech. Everything catches on fire Friday night. Wow. Saturday, I think it's Sunday night, DeMarcus dies. Monday, I have the meeting with T.I. Wow. And so I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm just there, like. But from that, we were able to build a relationship. And like I said, I understand his role in Atlanta. I got a lot of respect for what he does, you know what I'm saying, for the community. Yeah. And just the availability, you know what I'm saying, just on some regular nigga shit. Like, really, it's fun. It's like you said, I grew up on the west side of Atlanta, so it's like, to be able to just, hey, you can just call Tip. Like, it's crazy. It's like, hold on, what? Like, he'll call my phone. I'm like, huh? Wow. So to have those relationships is a beautiful thing, but that came from that 2020 as well. And then that transitioned to a lot of the political space and understanding political power in Atlanta and local power in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big thing. So I think 2020 was a moment where we have to understand what took place, but also how we capture those moments and how a moment was missed as well. And I say that because we as a people aren't organized just yet. Yeah. We say we want to do a lot of things, but like everybody that was showing up in those moments don't show up anymore. Yeah. So how can you really, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when we get to the point where we can move in a unison on similar topics, we don't gotta agree on everything, but we have to have about a 5-piece
on the big things.
On the big things. Yeah. Those are black things. You know what I'm saying? Like reparations. Hey.
That was about to be my next question.
Even if it's not for you, you need it. I mean, be okay with somebody else getting it. Even if you don't need it.
Somebody does.
Somebody needs it. Understand it's not a you thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't think we think in a space of us. It's a me thing.
Yep.
And what benefits me most of the time.
Individualism.
Is the biggest thing. But to get back to where we were with what was the end of the question with 2020 and where we are?
Yeah. And so pretty much the whole like momentum somewhat. Like how do you feel about that being left off, or do you feel like we're still trucking along somewhat?
I kind of expected it. You know, like I said, when you do it, you kind of know the highs and the lows. Like I have a rule, like when something goes viral, I don't get on social media for 48 hours. Because you
gotta let it die down.
Everybody cares for that first window.
Yeah, it's the slap. It's the slap.
Everybody cares for that. Yeah. I say 72 hours.
That's right.
I don't say nothing about it. Everybody gonna send it to me. They're gonna want me to say, I'm gonna just wait it out.
Yep.
Because it really ain't that deep. You know what I'm saying? So I think we really just have to hone in on where we are and understand it. So I think I expected the roller coaster to come down. Right. Because we were at such a high. Yeah. You have to come down from it.
I thought it was about to be like revolutionary. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
I've been waiting on this moment.
It was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy. And it opened a lot of eyes to a lot of stuff. But again, we're not organized in that manner to where we're all in unison. We have, and very few people are respected enough by many to be considered a leader. Wow. You know, there's so many people that want to be leaders that people don't respect, and so many people that are doing it for the wrong reasons.
For the clout.
So it's hard to navigate in that space of a coalition. Yeah. A lot of times there's too many people that want to be the leaders, and like I said, a lot of times I don't give a damn.
You just in the cut.
All right, y'all. I know what I can do. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have to go to, like, if it's a thing about unisons and impact, I can bring my own table to your table. Like I'm not really. So it's like we have to be able to really work together though, to find those individuals who really care. And so I think a lot of that was established from those moments. Like some new leadership was really birthed.
Most definitely.
A lot of new leadership. A lot of people like Justice for Georgia. Shout out to Britt. Protect the Vote Georgia. Shout out to Hannah. Mina and Voice of the People. Like these young women are like, I remember them first coming outside then, and they're killing it. You know what I'm saying? They're at the Capitol every day. Like they understand politics as our age group. They feed me information. Like I'd be like, okay, let me post about this. You know what I'm saying? Like they in the trenches, but they were birthed through that moment, you know, and they took the momentum from that, and they've been there. So it's birthed some people to have life-changing moments. Like my life-changing moment was the Mike Brown thing. So for some people, that moment will last a lifetime.
Yes, sir.
That will trigger them. Like I remember August 18th, 2014, like, oh, this shit here. It was something out of a movie. So for some people, that day in front of CNN, when it caught on fire, that was a life-changing moment for them. So it bred some of that, but you have to understand the roller coaster. And so I think until you get into the point where you understand the emotional roller coaster that is activism, this ain't for you. And I think that some people jump into this and they don't understand. Like,
because it looks cool.
I don't know why people think that. I do not know why people think it look cool. It don't look cool. It's really heart-wrenching. And until you get to the point where you really meeting these families.
Yes, sir.
You walk crime scenes with people's families. Wow. Like where I know you probably haven't, but think about this. Last week, and we about to do the prom takeover for rest in peace of Vincent Truitt, and they had a walk, right? The walk started where he was killed.
Wow. So
we went to where he was killed with his mom, his dad, his grandma, his attorneys, his principal from his school, and they started a 8-mile walk from there to his house. Wow. But to just go to a crime scene with a family. You see what I'm saying? That has to relive that. Like, until you get to that point of activism, you just playing around. Because then the families know who's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the families know. Until the families give you that. Like, my first ever award was presented from the Georgia Moms United.
Wow. That
meant the most to me. That'll mean more to me for the rest of my life than anything.
Especially from the mothers. Yeah.
From the moms of Kendrick Johnson and Vincent Truitt.
These are powerful names.
Like, all the Georgia moms, it's cases people don't even know of in Atlanta. Jarvis Likes mom. Like, I see these ladies like
Jamarian Robinson.
Yeah, there's so many situations that happen here that don't get in, and trying to be someone that brings attention to that, you know, that supports those families, to be there for them. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn about the cool look of it. You know what I mean? I just know that it's gonna look cool because I'm doing it, because I feel like I'm gonna make whatever I do look cool. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me being me. But it's like, it's too many people chasing a spotlight for that shit. Like, and another thing about my journey is I avoided this shit for a while. Like I said, I just started embracing the interviews and shit around 2019, 2020. Wow. I was around this shit since 2014. My mentor really ran into me like 2016, 2017. So Griggs is the vice president of the NAACP. Yeah. He's one of the biggest, like, he's been pushing me, and I've been like,
I'm good.
There's literally an interview, bro, on Channel 2 where I walked out the frame.
Wow.
Because I just didn't like being on camera. Like, that ain't my thing, bro. I didn't grow up like wanting to
trying to be up front and center.
No, you're right. Like, I was in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was doing some bullshit, so we don't need to be seen.
You can't be seen.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
So we was always just low profile. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never understood these criminals that want to be seen so much and want to flash it. I was just like, y'all niggas is dumb.
Telling on themselves.
Right. Yeah. So my mindset was never that. And so, again, it took time for me to embrace it and really, like, get to where we are. And we really just have to understand our own positions in this thing. And I think we're in a good space. I really think we're in a good space of progress. Yeah. So I think the people who came along from that situation are really some riders. Like I said, the ladies I mentioned, I met some more people, but those three definitely stand out the most in organizing. What we're trying to do now is be strategic with this shit.
That's right.
It has to be more than just emotions. We can't just be fuck every day. You know, so we're triggered. You know, we have to. One of my other mentors, Kimberly Latrice Jones, she has this book called How We Can Win. Please, everybody go read that book. Please. It's called How We Can Win. And it talks about positioning us and understanding what we were to get to where we can go. But it's about pivoting. You know what I'm saying? And being able to stay. She always talks about staying on your pivot, not being knocked off by everything that happens.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to have a tragedy happen. We know that it's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
It's inevitable. Yeah.
Something's going to happen in the month of April.
Yeah. How we going to deal with it?
We should be prepared.
Yeah.
We can't keep being reactionary. And that's what I had to learn. You know what I mean? That's where it's getting fun. Like, that's where I'm trying to write books and leave a legacy on. You know what I'm saying? To educate our people to a different direction, I think. So I think we're growing. Yeah. We haven't figured it all out, but I think that sparked a lot. Not the revolution we hoped for. Yeah. It did feel like that shit.
I thought we was there.
Man, right? I felt it. And it was so funny. I had got corona right in the height of it. Like, I was like, wow. I got corona right after Juneteenth. So May 30th was so the whole 2 weeks we outside, and then we do the little baby at Juneteenth concert. And I don't know if I got it there, but that next week I ended up catching the coronavirus at the time, and then but that everything happens for a reason though.
Yes, sir.
Because it all snowballed into a lot. I ended up being on Fox News, and it just snowballed into a lot. So you can never discredit that moment, but I think we have to be prepared for moments now. I think now we've gotten more people that want to be involved. We've gotten a little bit of a bigger unit, a little bit more. And so it was only a few faces of activism at that point in time. And some of those faces have faded away. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody in this for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? But I think we're growing in the right direction.
I love it, man. Good people, are you guys ready to turn your next idea into your business idea? If so, make sure to hit up the good folks at the Blk Agenda Firm, Coach Ken and the team. They will take great care of you. They'll do everything from establishing that LLC, that tough business plan, the business consultations, everything that you need to take that business off to the next level. If you're serious about becoming a full-time entrepreneur, scaling that business, making 6 figures plus, you already know who you got to contact, Coach Ken, the Blk Agenda Firm. Make sure to show them some love, tap in with them, and follow them on social media at the Blk Agenda, and also make sure to follow Coach Ken as well We cannot wait for you to connect with him, have a great time, and also take that business to the next level and get that bag. Tap in again with the Blk Agenda Firm. I'm going to say it again, the Blk Agenda Firm. Check them out. Tap in. This conversation overall is just so dope, being able to talk about politics, all these things. I think like our generation, man, is just super dope because all of us have balance, right? Where I can see you out partying, but then at the same time being active throughout the community, giving back, talking about mental health, foundations, all that dope stuff. And especially right now when it comes to voting. I know 2020 was so pivotal, whether it was voting locally, whether it was nationwide, big, all things. Like seeing that, it was cool, but at the same time seeing conversations of should we even still vote, reparations. So right now, do you feel like if we aren't getting tangible items, should we still vote? How do you feel about that?
I think we have to understand voting better.
Exactly. Yeah.
To start that conversation.
Yeah.
I think there's levels and layers to voting.
Yeah.
Some federally, I don't really give a damn about. So you can say federal election, maybe I may say you can or can't. I don't think that. I'm more so for a direct impact. And the things that happen locally, city government, state government, those are so low turnout and so easy to control and have a turnover in. I think you have to get more involved with that.
Right.
I don't think when people have conversations like that they're talking about locally. And they don't know that. And they think, oh, the President Biden. Like, I mean, if you want to have that reparations conversation, cool.
Yeah.
But you can have a state and like there's a city in California, I think it's.
Yeah, I'm hearing about that too.
That not reparations, but they're giving transgender, I believe, a stipend of $900 a month. I'm not saying, but that's done on a local government level. You see what I'm saying?
And it's not nationwide.
Right.
Exactly.
And so they can vote on that in their sector and control that for them. And see, I think that when we have conversations about voting, we have to know who runs what in our community. And we don't know that. I think our conversation is limited to the federal. Everything ain't Joe Biden issue. And I think that's what, and that's actually what I'm writing a book about. It's called Misplaced Anger.
Oh, okay.
And so what I'm discussing is the people in local government, your tax commissioners, your judges,
people who you don't even know who their names are, any of these things.
And you don't know what impact they have.
That's correct.
And so like state taxes get changed every year. Like they're talking about that in the state of Georgia now. You know what I'm saying? State representatives. Who is your district person for the state rep? Because in Congress, everybody's like, Georgia's blue. But if you go down to the Capitol, it's more red. You know what I'm saying? And they control the state of Georgia and what they want to do. So you could have someone saying, for instance, in the city of Atlanta, you can say, oh, we're having a problem with gun violence. But the state of Georgia is making more guns legal. You see what I'm saying? Because that's a statewide thing and they can overrule that. So we have people running for like lieutenant governor. You know, people don't even know what that is. Those so it's just, we have to get more educated with the positions and the things that we do complain about. There are solutions too. And I think we have to engage more to not feel as hopeless as we do. I think that most people have given up on the process, but I don't think they understand the process. And so we're impacted by it, whether you want to be or not.
So
whether you want to sit at home or not, you pay taxes and they're going to spend your tax dollars how they decide to.
That's facts.
And so you might as well figure out who the decision makers are, on what's going on, you might as well be a part of the process because you are regardless. So you could either just be ignorant to it and allow it to happen, or you can engage in it and figure out, hey, there's some bullshit going on, and then have a say so within the matter. And like I said, half the battle is just showing up. 90% of it, you don't really got to say too much. But if we're present, if we show a sign of solidarity just to show up at a state legislative session. If 100 black people walk through the state capitol right now, everybody in that motherfucker gonna look scared. They don't know why. What the fuck? We ain't got to do nothing. What they got
going on?
But we're entitled to that. That's we're constituents of this state. We live here. We have a Georgia state ID. You can walk into the state capitol and have a conversation with a state representative.
I didn't even know that. You
can go down to a city council meeting, but see, it's a lot of things that we don't. And that's what makes the when we talk about local government, that's what makes the Not Atlanta song funny to me, because what she's describing are the cities, the outskirts, but all of those have their own local government. And so people who live in Metro Atlanta think, oh, the city of Atlanta. No, the city of Atlanta is made up of 500,000 people.
Wow.
Only 500. The Metro Atlanta is made up of 6.5 million people.
Big difference.
So it's 6 million people that don't live in the city of Atlanta that live in Metro Atlanta.
That's right.
But all of them are governed by different people.
That's right.
And then some of them are governed by counties. DeKalb County does not have a mayor.
Wow.
They have county commissioners.
Yeah.
In certain parts of DeKalb County. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it depends on how your breakdown in that area. City of there's the city of Brookhaven. They have their own mayor. You know what I'm saying? East Point has their own city hall, city council, everything. South Fulton, all of these have their own local government that can govern, that has grant money for communities, that has funding for things that we don't even know about because we're not a part of the process. And so I think in order for us to have a real political conversation, we have to have more education about it. And that's what I want to dive more into. And it's just information. It's out there. It's no special search engine that I have. You can Google that shit, but you have to understand. Like, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna look right into my notes from the book right now.
Please.
But to give you an idea of what I mean, so this is my misplaced anger outline.
Oh, okay.
So we talking about state government. We talking about who is your state superintendent of schools.
Wow.
We talking about who's your secretary of state, who's over all the voting. Your attorney general, which is the highest law enforcement officer of your state. The lieutenant governor, which is like the vice president of the state, which we got Kwanzaa Hall running from, he's running for lieutenant governor. I rock with Kwanzaa.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna help with his campaign and things like that. I've talked to him a couple times. The state senate, you know what I'm saying, state representatives. Who's over the agriculture commissioner?
We don't even know about that.
That's your
land.
Food.
Yeah, that's your food and all that. Yeah.
Your labor commissioner.
Yeah.
You're saying that's over jobs. We've been talking about we've been talking about minimum wage for how long? But we haven't talked to a labor commissioner in our state.
Here's how you fix it. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We haven't gotten to that point. Who's our public service commissioner? And these people are making six figures. You know, then you got to city council. Then you got district at larges in city council.
Yeah.
That's not even talking about the judges, the district attorneys, your solicitors general.
Wow.
I didn't know what a solicitor general was until I had to go to court. And my lawyer was like, we got to switch cases because of the solicitor general. I was like,
what's that?
What the hell he do? He was like, he's not going in our favor. He's going to try to lock you up. I was like, but let's get another. But you have to know who these people are. They're elected officials. And they have an impact on your life.
Don't want to find out when it's too late.
The county commissioners, So these are all the people, House of Representatives in the U.S., the Senate. I'm researching all these things right now. Nigga, somebody got shot last night. I don't want to talk about that.
See, but these are the daily things that you go through. Right.
That's literally what I just got text nigga, somebody got shot. Right.
Wow.
Somebody did get shot last night.
Wow.
That had nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
But that's just the life we live. But what I'm saying about local government, these things we have to be able to engage within to have a conversation about reparations.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know who your state representative is, that's the person who would bring about that conversation in the state house. The state senators are who have those conversations, or your city council people who bring up, they create the laws. What we don't understand is how politics works. We think Joe Biden is the end all be all. He ain't doing shit for black people. He don't do shit but sign shit. He don't do nothing but sign nothing.
Yeah.
So first off, let's talk about how federal law, we're going to talk about reparations. You have to understand federal law, right?
Yeah.
Federal law, someone either in the House or in the Senate, so there's 100 senators, 2 for each state. There's 424 members of the House, right? Yep. Who the hell are they? First off,
a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
And who are those 500 people that represent you, or at least the people that represent your state? You know, we know your two. You should know at least just 2 senators.
Yep.
Or each state, depending on what state you're in, has different amount of House representatives. Depending on your population.
Yeah.
Both these people are the ones that create the laws that bring them to being heard. Then they have to be voted upon within their chambers.
Yeah.
And they have to get a certain amount of numbers. They have to be a majority vote. I think something just passed what was 220 to 204 marijuana.
Yeah.
But it may not pass in the Senate because the Senate needs 60 votes. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, and the Senate split 50-50. So
break it down for them.
So the Democrats have to get Republican help to sign off on that. Wow. And what we don't understand about politics is that Republicans usually just vote for Republicans. Like how they don't. What I hate about politics is that there's no integrity or morale or how they do the things that they do. They just do it because.
Herd thinking.
Right. It's like if you can't explain to me as your individual mindset on as a Republican, I would be able to respect you if you said, "Hey, I voted for the last Supreme Court judge Barrett because of this," right? And I think that I can't vote for this judge because there has to be some similarity, some reason why you chose this one over this one.
Yeah.
Not just saying, "Oh, I don't rock with it."
Yeah,
you know,
it's red, it's blue. Yeah.
It's just because, you know, like they just do it just because of the of the team that they're on.
Yeah.
I'm not no yes man, so I can't get into that. But to understand, okay, that's how it starts.
Yeah.
And then it has to be voted on both sides, and the majority of it has to be a majority vote, and on the Senate it has to be 60. Yeah. And a lot of times, laws that you want, so if they want to do, if one side agreed to reparations federally, the other side would have to, and it's still, they just didn't agree to give folks insulin for $35.
Wow.
Federally. They just voted that down.
That should be a no-brainer. Yeah.
It's not about what's good for people.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't give a damn. They give a damn about power. And so I think we have to understand the process of how things can actually possibly happen to stop just having a what-if conversation. You see what I'm saying? So when we can have the conversation of, well, how likely is that to be feasible?
Yeah.
Then it's tangible. We talk about tangibles.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that federally, those are the hurdles you have to go through.
Right.
But locally,
it's a little bit easier.
It's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And if you can if you have a city councilman that's bringing bills up, that's bringing laws up, that can make sense of it, who's to say the city of East Point can't get such and such and such and such grant? Who's to say the city of South Fulton can't, the blackest city in America?
Yeah.
Who's to say the city of Decatur? You see what I'm saying? So that not Atlanta shit. Yeah, y'all not Atlanta. So you need to know who the hell run your who the fuck the mayor of College Park is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who runs Hapeville? You know, who runs Smyrna? I think Cobb County, I think the city of Smyrna.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that. Like the city of Sandy Springs. They have their own situation. One of my partners ran for mayor up there. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, you ran for mayor? Like, nigga,
he tried to fix it himself.
Oh, shit. I was like, hey, okay. He like, you from run for that? I was like, oh, I'm not ready for it. I don't even like all that attention. Y'all doing too much for me. Like, that's too much attention for me. But I don't like the spotlight like that. I'll be like, ooh, everybody got to be all in my personal business. I'm private. I'm very private.
Yes, sir.
So, but to have those conversations about reparations and tangible things, I think we have to be more educated on the process of what we're talking about. And to go into that just talking, it frustrates me at times because it sounds like we do sound like we don't know what we're talking about. And so we're just like, oh, if you give us this, and it's like, no, you can really go to the state rep and have him write up a bill that says everybody in Georgia, every black person in Georgia get $1,000 a month. And then if they agree to it, they agree to it. They might not, but somebody can bring that up. You see what I'm saying? It's a possibility. Any lawmaker can bring anything that they think that can make sense up. As far like they got people get rid of the limit to marriage.
Wow.
What kind of pedophile shit is that that we're allowing to happen within government?
Even just like entertaining that whole thought process.
Like, what kind of sick shit do you want to be trying to do to change that? Why is that necessary for you to change? But we have to understand the process. So that's what I'm saying. In those conversations, I think, and that's why I'm writing this book, because I feel like it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, the book is necessary for us to understand what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
If we're going to do anything, it's understanding, like, if we get a coalition together and really understand if we can impact elections.
Yeah.
We really can. We are impacting elections, but we have to understand which ones who we need to do what, and really hold their ass. And even if you put people in power, in positions of power, you still gotta hold them accountable, and you can't be no yes man at that point. Like, I get phone calls and texts all the time because I've known the mayor for a while. But I'm just like, even if he says some shit I don't like, I'm gonna be like,
I'm gonna tell him.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I don't agree with that one, bro.
Yeah,
that's his cousin calling me right now.
Ain't that crazy? Hey, he a busy man, but, y'all. He a man of the people.
Nah, that's like my senior advisor, like one of my best friends. He's actually the mayor's cousin, so that's how I met the mayor. Nice. I've known him since 06, 07 when we used to throw parties at Club Miami.
Okay.
Back in the day. I got come from that party world of promotions. And so that's the mayor's cousin. That when I first started my foundation, I was doing a drive for Houston.
Nice.
And that was like 2017. My first big drive was Hurricane Harvey.
Yep.
And Andre, the mayor was on city council at the time, and he was a deacon at his church, and his church donated like a U-Haul full of supplies for us to take down to Houston. Yeah. So we ended up sending like 4 truckloads. That was like my first big event with the Smart Foundation. That kind of opened the floodgates for that when that started. But he was definitely a part of that from the very beginning, and it's just always been a resource. You know what I'm saying? And a genuine good dude. I'm really proud to see him in that position. I'm really proud to know that he's really about to do this work. Yeah. And he's doing an amazing job. Nice. But like I said, there's gonna be times where you disagree. Yeah. But I'm not nobody's yes man. You know what I'm saying? That. So I can hey bro, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really fucking with that Cop City shit y'all talking about, but it happens. So.
Man. Scotty, bro, you've been dropping heavy gems. One of my last few questions, man, just from seeing how, again, everything has changed, where do you see our political landscape being within the next 5 to 10 years? And then 2, I heard you, say this before, you enjoy bullying the bully. So seeing you on Fox News, fighting back, I love seeing that. So like, where do you see our whole generation where it comes to politics going? Because I think that our age group, like you said, we're that somewhat bridge, right? Where our grandparents were, involved in the civil rights movement, or even if not involved directly, still seeing it, being around it, lynchings, like all those things, Jim Crow South. And then now our kids won't know that, but they'll basically, hear those stories through us. So where do you see our future in politics being within the next few years?
Our future in politics is going in the right direction. Yeah. I think we're in the information age. And so I think it takes the right voices like myself and others to push that, push that information on the culture, to embrace it and to have those conversations and being able to put it into a term where everybody can understand it. I think a lot of times what misses in politics is they talk over a lot of people's heads. Yeah. They don't know how to really reach people. You know what I'm saying? Or tell them where it makes sense to, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I should have voted for that, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't know. And so I think in the next 5 years, I think we're becoming more strategic. And I think we're moving in the right direction. So I feel like we really just have to be more intentional and have strategy and organize. Like if we can unify a little bit more, if we can have a little bit more compassion, if we can really if we can learn to love each other a little more, we'll be able to do a lot more within the overall landscape of what happens. So it's just it's being educated, but it also is being more compassionate for each other to open those doors, to be in those places to learn. But I do think we're in a good space. I do think we're moving in the right direction. I do think we have a lot of young leadership. And it's just funny as I age, just like to say, like, damn, to hear you say you 25, like, damn, I'll be 35 in 2 weeks. So yeah, that's kind of crazy to how life goes like that.
You're still young. Yeah.
But at the same time, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to have that. Like, I want to see the 15-year-old that you can have an impact on. You know what I'm saying? It's about those relationships. It's like, I have a saying that knowledge is only powerful if you can share it.
That's right.
It means nothing for me to, I know y'all don't know shit over there. Y'all stupid as hell. Y'all don't know nothing about politics. Y'all niggas don't know shit. And that used to be the mindset of a lot of old heads. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they were a hurt generation as well. And so I think we just have to. I think politics wise, we're in a good space. As far as bullying the bullies, a lot of people are weak, and I think weak people try to make other people feel weak, and they try to push an inferiority into some people. Yeah. And I've always had confidence about myself, and I've never tried to use that to belittle anyone. Yeah. And so I've never appreciated that about those that And so I can see through that bully. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even hard. Like, you really just think you wouldn't have tried that with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So then at that point in time, then I might. But I really keep to myself most of the time. I'm not one that goes around and preaching to nobody, trying to get in nobody's business. I keep to myself. I mind my business. I enjoy conversations as such when it's necessary. I pick and choose my battles. I think the biggest thing I always give as advice is to understand your audience, understanding what time to have a conversation, understanding some conversations are a waste of your time, and some people ain't going to agree with that. But I don't feel the need to engage in everything political that everybody wants me to engage in. No, just because you felt like you
gotta save that energy.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you have to also understand to have foreshadow to be able to see, like, if I jump in this conversation, it's gonna go left. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're gonna say, or you might not know what you're gonna say, but you have an idea of what your energy brings, and it's just like, do I feel like going through that?
I ain't gonna change this person's mind sometimes. We
finna have a whole hour debate, and there's nothing finna grow from this.
That's right.
You're not gonna get me to change. You gonna still like Kobe, I'm gonna still like LeBron, and
I'm with you.
So it was a great conversation, you know. So I think we're in a good space though. I appreciate that. I really think that, like, we have to step up more. We all have to play a certain role. That's what I really think though. I think, like, the biggest thing in activism is that people have to stop thinking it's a title or something. I think we all have to be active in our community in some way. And that's how we have measurable impact. If everybody just does a small donation, you know what I'm saying? Just an hour, you know what I'm saying? Or just to give a damn, to just mentor somebody, like, just to give them some game that you've seen, or to give back. Like, we all have a role to play. It's not a me thing. It's never about me. I want us to really think about us and really, like, love on us. I just want us to care about us. You know, I feel like the system is set up that systematic oppression, white supremacy, they hate us more than we love us.
And we got to change that.
And so that's why we're losing, because we don't love us enough to come together where they shit. Keep stomping the motherfuckers.
Some cockroaches.
Keep stomping on the motherfuckers. They just digging that shit deeper and deeper. And we're still trying to get out. It's a little bit of love coming through, you know what I'm saying? But we have to heal as a people. I think there's so much trauma amongst us that it's hard to have uniformity. That's right. It's always like, he don't deserve that. Like, we can't be a huge coalition if we can't really all play our roles with a good heart and a good spirit and have a great team. You know what I'm saying? It's very few people that are able to really have good teams. It's really hard to build a good team where everyone is removing their egos and playing their roles and looking at the bigger picture. Like, it's not about your individual goals. I don't give a damn if I score I don't gotta score for a score. We just gotta win. I don't give a damn if I don't got no buckets. As long as we win.
Dennis Rodman mode. I'm at 20 boards and 2 points.
4 fouls. Coach, you want me to go hack them? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever your role is, accept your role and be a part of that. The problem is everybody wants to be that person, and I'm just like, and that's so funny to watch, because you see people just, like, change around cameras and shit like that. And so I think it's weeding itself out, but we all have to be accountable and aware of what's going on.
I love it. Scotty, man, thank you so much for your time. Before we bounce, very last question, where can everybody follow you? Vendors who can pull up to Black Friday, show love and support,
man,
all that stuff.
Friday.
Smart Foundation, everything.
All that, man.
How can keep up with you?
I'm a serial entrepreneur, y'all. I got a million things going on, but I got a million things going on for the culture. So my main contact, social media wise, would be Change Creator Smart. So Change Creator Smart, all one word. SmartFoundationInc.com. That's my nonprofit organization. The Smart Foundation stands for Some Men Are Really Trying. A Change Creator brand is on there as well, where we, you know, if we educate the hood, you can change the world. That's my slogan with that. We just trying to be the individuals that create change. You know, everybody's talking about what's necessary, what's needed. Black Friday is every Friday. I just started it 2 weeks ago. This will be my third one. We want to do it every Friday. It's slow, you know, but we're growing to where it's bigger than. I want it to be bigger than just me. I want to be bigger than just. We got to pull
up the one, most definitely. Especially
I want
like
to be
next
bigger
week.
than just a thing. I want it to be a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started this to say, like, if we can if we look at systematic oppression and we talk about spending dollars, again,
it's capitalism. Yeah.
And that's gonna go into a whole nother conversation. I don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
But
hey, you always welcome back too, bro. We got a part two.
To understanding black dollars, to understand the impact that has on criminal justice.
Yeah.
And things like that is important. So it's just like if we could circulate our money.
Yeah.
We'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
We'll be a lot better. So I want that mindset to really every Friday don't spend nothing with nobody. If they say we only spend 2% of our money in the black community. Yeah. So my idea with Black Friday is if we can just
stimulate that economy.
Just one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one day is 14% of a week.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're gonna spend 14% of our money, but it can get that 2% to 4%.
Yes,
that
sir.
2% can get to 10%. If we get that 2% to 10% just by one day, that's the 5-year goal. You see what I'm saying? To where like we really have economic impact where we're building opportunities. That's all. If we're not building opportunities, then we ain't doing nothing. We ain't creating jobs. We ain't giving people situations where they can change their circumstances.
It's real power.
We ain't doing shit. So it's like, how do we grow? Yeah. You know, it's always got to be a solution-based thinking for me. So yeah, that's what Black Friday is. It's a solution to economic development. So Black Friday, Change Creator Brand, Smart Foundation, podcast Convos Create Change. I'm about to bring that back. I think I just found a venue. I'm trying to see what I'm about to do. They gave me a nice offer, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do at a certain location.
I feel it.
With the podcast, because I have like an interactive audience. Have you ever seen my podcast before?
Nah, I don't think I have.
Okay, I'm gonna
I gotta tap in with it. Please do, bro.
It's pretty dope. It's a little different. It's a podcast, but it's like a panel with the interactive audience.
I love that. Yeah.
And so I'm big on conversations. And so I'm you'll see it like the first episode. I'm sitting in the crowd, but I'm asking questions. You know what I'm saying? From a crowd standpoint with my panelists up there, and so Convos Create Change. I started that a couple years ago. I think beginning right before the pandemic hit. When I started, then we started it up again last year for a few months. Did like 4 episodes, and so
matter of fact, I think I have seen it on your page.
But
if you posted it once or twice,
so we getting ready to get back into the swing. I think it's gonna be a really, really good summer.
Nice.
I got a lot of tricks up my sleeve. I said, I'm really trying to discipline myself to sit down and finish this book. I've been doing some research on it. Like I said, all of those things that are in it are really things that I'm researching regularly now, and to educate us on this process of gaining political power. So I feel like once we have something like that, to have an understanding of who does what, where would they get paid, what their budget is, then we can strategically move into the right direction.
Man, Scotty, we appreciate you, bro. I wish I had more time. Next time, bro, I gotta have you back on soon, because I got a million more questions, bro. So man, keep doing all the work that you're doing, because it's needed, man. We appreciate you. Y'all make sure to follow Scotty, man. Support Black Friday, his brand, Smart Foundation, every aspect, his podcast as well. Shout out to the whole team, Trent, Sid, Devin, everyone. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video, gain some knowledge, and follow Scotty, man. Stay up to date as well. Again, blessed be your host, Caleb Smith. Kush Inn Heights, check them out. Show them some major love as well. Amazing brand. Show them love. We appreciate y'all so much. Tap in. We'll make sure that, we see you guys soon. Peace.